Here now to respond to these latest claims from Omarosa Manigault Newman and maybe reveal some new information of her own, the former spokeswoman for the 2016 Trump campaign, current senior advisor to his 2020 re-elect campaign, Katrina Pierson. She is quoted, or perhaps you'll say misquoted, in Omarosa's new book. Good evening, Katrina.
Good evening, Ed. Thanks for having me.
All right. I appreciate you being here. A lot to unpack. Let me start first with a quote from the book so we can get it from you directly about whether this is true or not. In the book, Omarosa says Katrina had heard from her sources that the tape was of Trump using the N-word. Someone she knew who knew political strategist Frank Luntz told her that Luntz had heard it. Lynn, as in Lynn Patton, a longtime Trump aide, reported she asked Trump about it on the plane, specifically whether it was possible such a tape might exist, and he said no. Then she, Katrina, asked him what he wanted her to do, and he said, put it to bed. Katrina cursed and said, he said it. Did that happen?
No, Ed. That did not happen. It sounds like she's writing a script for a movie. You know, I've already been out there talking about this. That is absolutely not true. I have no sources with that tape. I have no connections to anyone at Celebrity Apprentice other than Omarosa. And in fact, she was the only one that brought this tape up. People that I've checked with, who she's mentioned, have no idea what she's talking about. But you know what, Ed? I'm really not going to be angry about this. Clearly, Omarosa is in a very desperate situation. I really do feel sorry for her. This is obviously trash for cash. I was really concerned with Omarosa when she got married, when she had to buy a fake wedding ring. So I do feel sorry for her, but I will not stand by and allow her to continue to tarnish everyone's reputation and hurt the one person that helped her become who she is in the celebrity world.
Okay, we gave you a chance to respond. I want to get to the new information, but first I want to be clear. You've been around the president during the campaign, since the campaign, since he was elected president. Have you ever heard him use the N-word, any sort of racial slur? Yes or no?
Absolutely not. The answer is no. In fact, the president and his family have been nothing but kind, generous, and respectful to myself and everyone else that I know of color. Okay,
now let's get to the new info. I mentioned Lynn Patton, a longtime Trump aide going back to his business dealings, and then she I believe, had been working at the Housing and Urban Development. She's a longtime Trump advisor inside and outside the government. I understand she's putting out a statement this hour that is refuting these claims. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, absolutely. Look, as I mentioned, Omarosa was the source of this tape. She was concern trolling this tape since the latter part of the campaign, in my opinion, as a tool of manipulation of those around her. And she has been mentioning Lynn Patton's name over the last couple of days on her melodramatic interviews as someone who could actually corroborate what she was saying. And in fact, Lynn Patton has released a statement this evening, and she's given an exclusive
what is she saying?
And that is now running in the Huffington Post, who says that that is simply not true. But more importantly, Ed, it's the timeline. The reason why Omarosa is facing a wrath of contradiction is because she can't keep her lies straight. She has gone out there and said that she has not heard the tape until after her book was finalized. Well, what everyone didn't know, and that what Lynn Patton is announcing tonight.
And that's Lynn Patton right there.
And what Lynn Patton is announcing tonight. I just want to be clear. Pardon
me one second. Lynn Patton is now saying tonight that on December 12th at 11:30 p.m., she's being very specific, 2017, at 11:30 p.m. in a phone call, she says, Omarosa told her then that she had heard the tape where the president allegedly said the N-word. Significant because now in recent days, Omarosa has said she had not heard it until after writing her book. December 12th, 2017, right. She hadn't written the book, and she was still in the White House. That is a big contradiction. Is that what you're understanding tonight?
It's a major contradiction, and it's a bombshell, Ed, because on 2 days after that, on December 14th, she went on an ABC News interview defending the president, saying, quote, that he is not a racist. So how could that be possible if she heard the tape already that she's using as her excuse to change her tone with the president?
Another quick point I want to make. Mark Burnett, one of the creators, obviously, of The Apprentice, the president tweeted tonight that Mark Burnett called him and said no such tape exists. Beyond that, Omarosa today was out there on MSNBC and maybe elsewhere saying that Bill Pruitt, another producer on The Apprentice, is corroborating her story. I understand you have a different story tonight.
Yes, Bill Pruitt was the producer of seasons 1 and 2, where she is claiming that this apparently took place. She also told Lynn Patton that Bill Pruitt was her original source of this tape. And Lynn Patton spoke with Bill this evening and is announcing that that is simply not true. And as I suspected all along, this tape does not exist. Omarosa is just desperate for money.
All right. Last question. You were at her wedding. There are photos of you online, you know, having fun with Omarosa. I know people are friends and then they break up. And the president hired her well over $100,000 a year in taxpayer money inside the White House. The president in the campaign said he was going to hire the best and the brightest, that he was a businessman. There you are at the wedding. You know, he's had problems now with Michael Cohen as well. A big picture here. You're going after Omarosa hard and attacking her. But the fact of the matter is,
I'm not attacking her. I'm just stating the facts.
Well, you talked about her ring, and you said that this is trash for cash. You said it was trash for cash, and so I want to be clear. You've been friends with her, and the president hired her to a sensitive White House post, being paid almost $200,000 a year in taxpayer money. That was a mistake, wasn't it?
Well, no, the president has no control over the decisions that other people make. He simply gave individuals an opportunity to achieve greatness. She could have been out there championing her community with the prison reform and everything the president is doing for the black community, but she chose to go a different route. The president is not responsible for others' reactions.
All right, Katrina Pierson, appreciate you coming in with that new information.
Great to be here, Ed. Thanks.
All right.